fuck? All right. Anyways, so well, it depends because some of you guys like flirt and use a lot of women on the internet, and like I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of different kinds. There's like the ones that use women like Nikita Dragon that posts like a shit ton on Instagram, but in reality they're like the shittiest people on earth. So I'm not really sure if a man using Instagram a shit ton is actually a good thing. And the ones that have a lot of photography, I mean, I already know what that is because I know how to use Craigslist. So I'm not really sure if that's necessarily good. And then the ones that travel a lot and have a lot of travel pictures, they've probably been to every single red light district in the world. So I'm not really sure about that either. And the ones that usually focus on food are most likely most of the time married or have a girlfriend, so I'm not really sure if flirting with them is necessarily going to be respectful towards their significant other. And most of the Instagram artists are either already dating, have kids, or already has a family. So I'm not really sure if Instagram works for men like that and I think most of the time when they are very manly and have a very fashion focused Instagram account, I'm just kind of curious if they're like sexually harassing certain people. Anyways, so yeah, I don't really. Because most of the time, like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, thank you, but you know how, like, the American Apparel. Hold on. Let's play Nami. We have a freaking. I don't want to use this skin. Um, So what was that? Was it the American Apparel CEO fired? Who was Dove Charney? Okay, Dove Charney Instagram. No, it's not edgy. It's like there's certain things that he does. Like the way he takes certain pictures are just like, damn, this guy does hella cocaine and probably experiments with like hallucinogens. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things in the certain way he does things where just like, damn, this person like no offense, but it seems like he's on some serious fucking drugs. Like maybe not on the level of McAfee, but this guy probably does some shit. You know what I mean? And what's another person? Well, I think there's Australia arrested. Um, I think this person was like smuggling cocaine, and then there's other stuff like Instagram model prostitution or something. How like most of the people like there was like this thing going around where Instagram location signifies prostitute or something like that. Like I think there was something about like so you know how there was some people saying like, oh yeah, if they're like a prostitute or whatever, they're constantly change their location. So like if they're in your city, you can like call them up. And then like most of the time, like these people have really like jet setting, like they take pictures of their outfits, they take pictures of fashion, you know, stuff like this. So like most of the time when you guys are like, "Oh yeah, why don't you do that?" I'm like, maybe because I know a lot about what's going on." So I have nothing against it. It's just like when you're specifically asking me why I do not like it. Well, first of all, I am not interested in becoming a sex worker, okay? And I am not against what they are doing. I am just saying like, you know, if you are into that and you are interested in that, then by all means continue doing that. But I do not want to know about it and I do not want to be part of it. Well, not every single car mechanic is a drug dealer. I mean, yes, some might be, but that doesn't mean every single one is. Most of the time, I just want to get my fucking car fixed. Like, I don't know why you're bringing up drugs. Like, anyways. You cannot really go on Instagram and be like, oh yeah, I'm just trying to see some sexy bitches. Like, I'm not trying to be all like, you know, like, yeah, that's fine if you follow a magazine. Like, I follow Shop Bazaar, Harper Bazaar, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I follow legitimate, like, fashion based Instagram accounts, not just naked women. Yeah, there are actually strippers. There's actually a lot of New York strippers who use Instagram to bring in more clients to their bars, strip clubs. So I follow them because they're actually real, you know, and you cannot get any more lavish than New York, in my opinion. You know, that's as lavish as it fucking gets. Florida doesn't even have expensive houses in comparison to New York. Like New York, like you will literally have a studio apartment for a 5 bedroom house in Florida. Like that is not money. I'm sorry, honey. Well, if we're really talking about wealth and money, then like I'm sorry, but that's the reality of it. I think London is actually more expensive than Germany. I don't need to check to know. Wherever there is more immigrants and a higher population number, there's always going to be higher real estate. Like, take New York, for example. They have the most immigration, they have the most diverse group of people. There's always a person of a different kind of race, different religion, different, like, pretty much everything. Like, you will never go to New York and be like, damn, this is like all white people. Like, I'm I'm pretty sure that will never fucking happen when you go to New York. I think when you go to New York, you'll be like, oh my gosh, you're from India. Oh my gosh, you're from West India. Oh my gosh, you're from Africa. Like, every single person is different. You know what I mean? Like, there isn't like, oh yeah, it's just a bunch of fucking educated white people from Stanford. Because that's what you get here. Anyways. Yeah, there's a lot of people who did not grow up here or like, you know what I mean? Like when you're a grad school Stanford student, it's very different from when you are a undergrad, thank you, Stanford student. Like when you're an undergrad Stanford student, you're just kind of like, dude, like fuck all this. And then when you're like a graduate Stanford student, you're just so much more like Yeah, but that bitch just didn't grow up here. She moved here to go to Foothill to transfer to Stanford, and her mom works at Stanford. Her mom did not go to Stanford. Her mom works at Stanford. That's two very different things. And another thing is, like, if your parents are not teachers at Stanford and they work at Stanford, that's completely different. Like, I can get a job at Stanford too, but that doesn't mean I will ever go to Stanford. So their intelligence is two very different things. So that's why whenever people are like, oh my gosh, her mom works in the science department, computer science department, I'm like, okay, she works there, but does she teach there? Because that's two very fucking different things. One person that works there may or may not get you into Stanford. It's not like you guys know the difference. Maybe that's where all the fucking idiots came from. I don't think a wall's gonna stop them. It ain't nothing to cut that bitch off or something. Forgot the fucking song. Well, I'm not gonna harass and tell someone this unless they attack me because, I mean, come on, face it, they're not really gonna want to hear it, right? Like, say someone who doesn't really care about bags, and then you're just like, oh my gosh, like, you should totally not invest in Fendi because, like, they're getting so fucking generic and they're barely coming back, you know? Like, Gucci and Prada are starting to look the same. I wouldn't even buy Prada because they're just pretty much, Prada is just pretty much copying, like, Gucci and what is it? There was that other brand, Louis Vuitton, and like they have like no original idea ever. Oh yeah, I know bags. I know fashion too. Yeah, the whole product campaign was really fucking bad. And Longchamp these days, oh my gosh, those bags are getting pretty sexy. But like I was saying, Coach I think is the only one with real leather anyway, so I would actually personally prefer to use Coach. But at the same time, no, it's not Celine. Celine and Chloe. Ah, yes, Chloe. Chloe, Chloe is kind of an brand in my opinion because I feel like Chloe doesn't really have an ability to design any other bags past that one. And I think Gucci is only recently getting fucking good again because Gucci was really fucking like, oh my god, they had that like green and red pattern for the longest fucking time, and holy Jesus, that thing was so fucking disgusting. Like, I was so tired of seeing that fucking same pattern. And LV, oh my gosh, until recently they've always only had the print and it was the ugliest fucking thing in the world. And then I think it was only a few years ago, thank you, where they recently got that white one, but otherwise it's always that shit brown with that other fucking shit brown that I fucking hated. Like, it's the ugliest fucking thing. I hate fucking patterns. I like anything that is like the same color, and that's why I like Prada, and oh my gosh, it's just, I can't. Anything with pattern just looks cheap. It's fucking disgusting. And in all honesty, that new Gucci bag, I would have just gotten a Chanel, because it's pretty much the same fucking price anyways. Oh, Chanel actually more expensive? Isn't it the same price? Oh no, because the Chanel would be actually $3,000, huh? Oops. I think YSL is actually, well, actually, never mind. I think Chanel bags are like 3 to 500. I just realized after saying it out loud that maybe they're not the same price. Just kidding. Um Oh, Celine. Okay, so the thing about Celine is it kind of looks like a cheap knockoff, and then like if you just keep going down, Tory Burch and Kate Spade sometimes just has like cheap knockoffs. Like the Kate Spade that I got, that's just like a cheap knockoff of like old school Prada. But I know Prada hasn't made like that pattern. Well, actually, I think they still do. I think it's like one of the classic or whatever thing, so they're never gonna get rid of it. But at the same time, I did have a Prada wallet from my aunt, and like everybody would talk to my wallet. It's like, hello, me here, talk to me, not my wallet. And I can't handle it anymore. I don't need any more fake friends. I don't feel comfortable saying this out loud. Anyways, no, this is actually why I like whatchamacallit. This is why I like gay people. Not like just gay people, but like genuinely homosexual people who wear makeup, not just the butch. Gay. Femi? I don't think it's called Femi. I think it's something else. This is so boring. I actually purposely chose Nami because we're playing with MF. And I hate this bitch! So, yeah. I didn't really want to play any other champion because I just don't like MF. Well, if you just buy a scarf, that's super cheap. And then if you buy like a card holder, that's also super cheap. Like anything that does not pass $1,000 is cheap in my opinion. Like it could be like 900 something. You'd be like, ah, oh, whatever. It's not $1,000. I don't feel that bad. You know? Okay, maybe that's not what everybody says. Sorry. I think anything under 100 is okay. Okay, so for my hotel for LA, I didn't want to go past like 500 because I was like, dude, I'm not even gonna fucking be there. And then after I am there, I'm probably gonna be too fucking lazy to even fucking leave anyway. So then why would I spend like more than like that much money on it, you know? Late night games. Late night games. You know how there's that saying, I'm not gonna go out without a fight? Yeah, that's me. I don't ever give up without a fight. If you don't ever fight for what you want, then you're never gonna get it. Just because I can grab somebody's dick does not mean I would just grab them by the balls. Okay? That's two very different things. Do you guys even understand why Elon Musk got sued? No, wait, not got sued. Got criminally charged for the SEC, from the SEC, by the SEC? Do you guys even understand that concept? Because he made private information public. There you go. There's your answer right there. Dude, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's like, my team is not here! Who is that? Oh, Silas. Ooh. Ooh, I haven't seen Silas in years. I thought my boobs were small, you know? I thought they were flat. I thought they were gone. I thought I had a beer belly, you know? Not sure how much of that was actually accurate, but hey. Here I am! Alone again. Yeah, this is hella old school shit. Like, remember back in the day where everybody would just have, like, built-in bra tops and not actually, like, a tank top? But a built-in tank top bra? Those were the days. Anyways, so... What the fuck? See, that's kind of the thing that I was trying to tell you guys. Like, you might not ever know what is a trade secret because that could, you know. But if you really think about it, and you had, like, a fucking Facebook group of, like, boosters or, like, boosting, or, like, you guys had a very special way of speed running, or, like, anything like that, you would kind of want that person fucked as well, right? Because they exposed a secret only you guys were supposed to know, right? So if you're against that, then, I mean, I don't see the point of helping you because you probably don't have any power to help me anyway, so. It's not like you have the highest morality or the ethics are exactly there. Are not exactly there, thank you. So, I mean, I'm not sure what the benefits are. I might lose more than earn anything. Well, I mean, it's not like... I know there's a lot of people who I did coke with that want to expose me right now, and honestly, I think it's just laughable. Because I kind of use them as the example of why I do not use drugs, so if they ever do come out, I'll be like, see, this is why I quit. Imagine if I was actually still doing cocaine. Like, can you imagine? I would be fucking going to jail right now. Exactly. Imagine if I was. I would be fucking going to jail right now. Do not fucking get that. Technically... Wait, hold on. It's not 3. Damn it! What should I even get? I don't even fucking know. Can I play... I mean, I've tried. Didn't you guys remember? I tried going full cooldown just the same way I did with Sona. Because Nami has a really long cooldown, right? So I was like, okay, let's go fucking Sona, and then let's go try to jungle fucking Nami, right? Remember all that shit that I fucking tried didn't work. Not a single one fucking worked. I fucking hate MF. So I'm just gonna play fucking Nami. MF's a fake ass bitch. Her parents were killed by whatchamacallit. Yeah, I know, so her thing isn't that bad. And I know for like, what is her thing? Her... Yeah, but I think they had like, what was it? Gosh, that comic that they had? Remember? They were like, oh my gosh, that was a lot of damage. Remember that, comic that they had for a while? That one time? You know that comic, with MF and stuff? Like... Fucking God, why'd you guys walk into it? Alright, remember that remember that comic book? That comic episode with MF? Gosh, what was it called? Comic episode? Was it this? Yeah, this shit was fucked up. This is the shit that I fucking hate about certain people in my life. Like, that's just some, like, drug bullshit, you know? If you've done drugs before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, people who tend to do drugs, people who do drugs tend to do shit like that. You know, and it's like when you're okay, so the only problem with like sex workers in those terms is say you only pay for a blowjob, right? But you know selling sex is actually a crime. So they'll purposely try to get you to get a free blowjob because they know they can't afford it, but then they'll threaten you like, "Oh, I'll call the cops." And that's kind of what they're talking about when they're saying like, "Oh yeah, you know, it's not fair," about like, oh my gosh, alive. Nope, not alive. Okay, so you know how like in sex work, right? There are like, say you go on fucking, what is the sex working website right now? Okay, let's just say on Backpages, right? On Backpages, you call someone and you go, "Hey, you know, I want to pay you $20 to suck my dick." And instead of just getting the $20 to suck dick, right? They'll be like, "Well, since you know, technically you can go to jail for getting this $20, then you might as well just fucking have sex with me as well." Because, you know, if you don't, then technically I'm just gonna call the cops and you're gonna go to jail. So that's kind of what a lot of sex workers are talking about, because if you criminalize this stuff, then cops cannot help them. I just, because they say, like, cops cannot help us because it is criminalized, so there's no way that anybody can really prosecute anyone, and that actually encourages violence towards women. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about when I say, like, people can't really uphold their side of the promise. Why? Because it's like you have an email, right? You get an email and you go, "Hey, okay, I have a client today." And that client said, "Okay, sex for an hour." And then after that, they want to kidnap you for like 3. And it's like, I didn't promise this. And I did not pay for this. Does that kind of make sense? So that's kind of the darker side of why a lot of people wanted to be decriminalized, but then in Amsterdam they started having a drug problem, so I was like, okay, why don't you guys just charge more for drugs? So then it's not like, you know, but then I'm pretty sure there's also the other aspect of it where the person probably brings the cocaine and is like, "Hey, you know, since I am giving you free cocaine, can you make it like cheaper, you know?" And then I think that's where a lot of the stuff started coming out. And I'm like, see, this is why I say having a pimp is good sometimes, because then they can help you with this stuff. But at the same time, you guys can always just hire like security or like a bodyguard or whatever. So in my opinion, it doesn't, I don't really think it fucking makes a difference, because you can always hire a manager, which would completely go legally, right? So I know most of what's in Amsterdam is just like you rent a room, so it's like a salon or whatever, where you rent a space, and then that's like about the extent of like the management there, right? How do I know this? Because I watch a lot of documentaries, and like most of these documentaries, that's like all they ever talk about. Yes! Oh fuck! No, No, but you guys understand what I'm trying to say, right? Because I understand that, like, a lot of you guys don't really understand this, and I don't fucking know this either. I've never even been to Europe. How do I fucking know this? Because I've watched, like, a shit ton of fucking documentaries. And I also watch a lot of, like, I watch TED Talks more than anything about sex work and advocating for sex work and decriminalizing sex work. Because for me, I want to hear it from a sex worker. You know, I want to hear their reason. But my input is if you decriminalize sex work, it's going to end up like Amsterdam, and instead of charging a premium like $200 for an hour, you're going to end up with like $10. So, well, that's what I talk about. I don't talk about kidnapping little kids. That's just some other shit that I do not want to be involved in. See, this is why I don't like to associate with like people who don't have morality. Because then they'll say shit like that and you're just like, well, I kind of knew you didn't have morality. Like, what did I expect? But anyways, I think the mob actually has very strict rules where it's like you do not talk or involve other people's families. So I would say if it is the mob will actually refuse to be part of it or refuse to involve someone else's kids because they don't do kids. But if they are not the mob, then I would worry because their morality is not exactly the highest. He can one-shot me? How is that oh, he's got 10 to 1. How the fuck? Oh, wait, hold on. My whole team is beating. Alright, anyways. I don't really care because I don't want to really help MF anyways. And I think they were pretty set on playing MF. So, you know, because, like, okay, so I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but people who, like, will actually pick a champion, like, there's, like, a 90% chance they will actually pick that champion that they chose that they wanted to play. You know what I mean? And people like me who never pick, we just I haven't seen anybody who doesn't pick that actually like will pick something just because they say something because I feel like you know what I mean? Like I don't think it just I don't know, man. I don't know. See, this is why I'm just like I don't even care. Like I don't even want one. Like why would I care? Well, considering that maybe the guy who created the CRISPR babies is probably the ugliest guy on earth, you have to understand, Jack Ma looks literally like just so fucking ugly. But the fact that you can have that type of DNA in your like family so they will actually not be fucking idiots is like worth more than just plastic surgery. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get oh my gosh, I can't be all three places at once. Does that kind of make sense? Like you can be very very ugly but at the same time you can be very very smart because there's no such thing as let me get some fucking smart shot into my brain or some shit like that. You know, you can be like, oh, I hate my nose. I want to get a better looking nose. You know what I mean? But you can't just be like, oh, I'm so tired of being dumb. Let me just go get some fucking plastic surgery to stop being dumb. Like, I don't think that exists. But my point is, like, I do not mind dating a guy who's really fucking ugly, but at the same time, you can't be really fucking stupid. You know, like, Jack Ma is really fucking ugly. Like, no joke, hands down, he is fucking hideous. But guess what? He is fucking brilliant. He understands how to take care of his people. He understands how to build an international market. He understands how to build a business where every single person in the whole entire world will want to use his platform. But guess what? He's fucking disgusting and he's fucking ugly. But does that matter? Probably not. If he got some skull reconstructor, and then after that he can have his nose shaved or his face shaved or his other some shit on his fucking face cut off or reshaped, I'm pretty sure he'd look pretty much like every other Korean. No offense, thank you. So, in terms of that, I really do not think it would really fucking matter whether or not he is actually hot or not, because with an intelligence thank you like that, I think he can pretty much buy me anything and anything that I really could want, because you could sell anything, you know? So at that point, would it really matter if he's ugly or pretty? No, right? Because he's so fucking smart that he can make so much fucking money that it would really not matter. But so far, a lot of people are dumb and ugly. So I'm like, well, that's just a lot of bad genes there. You know what I mean? Like, you're physically ugly, you're mentally ugly, and I'm pretty sure your genetics are also fucking disgusting. So, that's just too much ugly for me. And just so you guys know, I have no interest in moving to Germany because that's actually where the Holocaust started. I would actually prefer to move to a European country where they pretty much did not even want to be involved in the whole entire situation. So, anyways, the only problem with that now is the same shit that's going on with China, where there's too many people coming into the goddamn country. So, that's a different problem that we have to solve. But, ow! Ooh. I'm not gonna report anyone. Why? I played Nami. Like, what do you want me to report? Like, I can't have enough cooldown? Like, yeah, Riot's definitely gonna fucking fix that. I'm pretty sure they are the ones who put it there. Anyways. No, that's not why. I've always hated Nami. Haven't you guys seen me try to, like, fucking jungle Nami? And I was just like, no, this shit is not working. I don't want to play this champion anymore. I fucking hate this champion. But, yeah, I don't think I've ever said I like Nami, ever. I said I liked her skin, but I don't think I ever said I liked playing Nami. No, she's fucking unbreakable, like... Was Season 1 Nami really, really fucking broken? Because I have a feeling that Season 1 Nami was just so broken. Riot was like, nah, we can't have this no more. And then just fucking like, oh my gosh. Oh yeah, there definitely is a script for Q, I think, that a lot of girls use, or... Not really my fault, right? I mean, I told you they were a fucking sellout. Why do you think I don't want to be friends with them? If they're gonna sell you out, they're gonna sell me out. So... Why would I want to be friends with that person? Do I know why she is mad? I think she is mad because... Yeah, I'm actually not sure. I think she's kind of saying the same thing that I said a really long time ago. I was like, are you sure, bro? Like, you have your whole life ahead of you. No, I turn guys down a lot because I'm like, you know, you are very young. And I am very old. Yeah, that's actually where I notice where, like, a lot of the younger kids are actually more mature than the older guys, because the older guys are all like, yeah, see, that's where, and then I'm just like, honestly, this shit is so goddamn backwards. What the fuck is going on with my life? And I kind of had like a mental breakdown. I was just like, dude, this shit is broken. Anyways. My legs are kind of fat, you know, and they're getting so fat that it's getting hard to cross my legs. I don't know if you guys have seen me try to cross my legs, but that shit is apparently impossible now. So I sit kind of like a man because my legs don't cross anymore. Not that girls with skinny legs would ever fucking understand, but hey. What am I fucking playing? No! I refuse. Okay, so I like to play Hem. I like to play Lux or Zyra against Hem because I remember when I first started playing League, there used to be a lot of hamburgers and a lot of Luxes in my fucking games, and that shit just fucking pissed me off so goddamn much. I was like, this fucking salty ass bitch just keep trying to fucking kill me, and it's fucking pissing me off. So I was just like, honestly, I'm gonna do everything in my power to fucking counter you. And for some fucking reason, they just never had the brains to figure out, like, hey, maybe I should just use some magic penetration. I don't remember if it was Crepo or not, but I don't think I knew, well, yeah, I don't even remember anymore. We're gonna have to look at our history and our dates. It's too long ago, and my drug-induced did... You know, I have a feeling, like, when you do drugs, right, I think that shit stays in your system for so fucking long that it's just, like, never comes back out, you know? So you're always gonna have, like... You know how after you do cough syrup for a really long time, you just become a little bit brain dead for, like, a week, and then it comes right back. But, like... for that 1 week, you're like the dumbest fucking bitch ever. You just can't formulate sentences. And your reaction time is just so fucking slow. I used to love that shit. I used to be like, oh my gosh. No, it was actually an episode on House, thank you, where a guy who was super smart with a super high IQ started taking Robitussin just so he can become like a normal person, so his IQ wouldn't be as so much higher than everybody, thank you. And then he was doing it so much that I think he got like a seizure or something like that, or something serious, like really fucking serious, that he had to go to the hospital. And then he was like breaking down and crying in bed, being like, oh, I'm just so tired of being so much smarter than everyone. Like, my wife is actually an interesting person when I'm on drugs. Like, she's just so fucking stupid. I don't know if you guys remember that episode of House, but I do, because I was hella high. Because of that reason. That, yes, thank you. That episode is literally me. Oh, wait, hold on. So, to play it against Echo. No, dude, that's just such a bad idea. Okay, I'm gonna play Syndra. Why am I playing Syndra? Because... So, Riot kind of took that shit away when they realized that it was a really fucking bad idea to have so much fucking AP on a... on a, Hold on. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Didn't you guys say, oh, Christine's cheating now? You think I give a shit? No, probably don't. And it's still not cheating because I am not reverse engineering or deriving their source code from. So technically, legally speaking, I am not really breaking the rules of Riot Games when I have not violated any terms of use clauses. So, dude, this is so uncomfortable. I've never had my right knee up and like feels a little. That's kind of what the volume button is for, guys. I love my $60 nuke, by the way. It's the slowest fucking piece of shit I own. But I love it. What? How can I say it with a straight face? Because it's just the truth, and it's... You guys are fucking depressing, I swear to God. Told you, man. So fucking slow. Hey, so can you actually buy new 52s on here? No, this is the beginning, I think. Or is this the ones that are being written recently? Man, I gotta go to Lee's comic. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I think my era was much better. 2017, yeah, I think that's too new. Cause I think New 52 was a little bit before 2017. Not liking the new Harleys. Yeah, mine was all about like saving old people and getting their families back together and kidnapping animals to free them. That's some shit. I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing anymore. That's fine. I'm not buying shit, so of course they're gonna have to cater and draw whoever the fuck is buying it now. So I mean, as long as she's fucking buying it, then don't matter, does it? Thank you. Okay, so I like how this necklace goes to like my boobies, right? But in all honesty, I kind of like how it goes in between my boobies. Yes, they are. I played floor hockey with Ning when we were in high school. No, middle school. Because there wasn't really a team past high school for us. I think it was too intense of a sport, and I think me and Ning were just a little bit too manly. Whoopsies. I love anything competitive, and I don't think it was. I don't think it was soft enough for everyone, so I don't think a lot of people liked it. It was funny because our coach was the computer teacher, and he was like, "Yes, yes, go guys, go!" And he was so fucking amped. Anyways, I don't know what this bitch is doing, but I got a 10-second cooldown. You go, girl. You go, girl. You know, I learned this thing. I learned this from playing with you guys, where you guys were like, "Yeah, just let that bitch get hooked. Just fuck it, just let it go." And then yeah, things I learned from you guys. Get your money first. Yes, you were the first to play. I'm not complaining. Anyways, I think I cracked my jaw doing that. It didn't hurt. It just hurt a crack. They're not stupid. They know how to count. Dun, dun, dun. How am I sitting in silence? This guy must be a fucking girl because only girls don't know how to count, which includes me. I feel like every single guy I've ever played with always fucking counts down the cooldown. I've never seen a guy not count, which is me because I'm not a guy. But no, seriously. Like if you play this game long enough, you realize that you can tell a person's gender by how they play. And if you cannot tell their gender, you can actually tell like how much influence they have based on their decisions. Okay, I think I played this game way too much. I think that's probably how I know. But it's okay, I'm not the only one. I just love being in esports. Because you learn that you're not the only person who sees and understands certain things, and like you guys actually start backing each other up, whereas in like real life you use that as a reason to break each other down so you can be the only one. You know? I just think it's awesome in esports. Ta-da! Titties! Oh man, dude, I swear if I started getting donations, I feel like I'm gonna get banned. Just cause like I legitimately will just read whatever you guys donate because I will feel very guilty about not, you know? And I feel like I'm just gonna get myself into really deep shit. Just cause I don't believe in restrictions. It's funny cause you guys know it's true. Alright, anyways. It'll be fine. What the fuck do you want from me? Don't judge me. Fuck, I keep forgetting I can't buy it to build it. Oh my gosh! I think they also increased it. No, has it been at 400? I feel like it's been, oh no, it isn't because it's more expensive. It's because you can't build. Oh my gosh! I'm okay. You're gonna ult me? Fuck my life! How am I healing? This. No, wait, this. And this. Why did I get that? I'm sorry. This is. Oh no, Riot. Well, actually, technically, hypothetically speaking, Riot technically does not have any control over it because they would prefer me not to, but then technically they would have to implement the same thing to everybody else. They can't just be like, "Oh, you, Christine, can't build AD on AP champions." Oh yeah, no, I don't have a double chin. I'm sorry. I also cracked my friggin' jaw doing that again. Dude, you should have just let her ult you one more time. So, why is there so many people in my lane? Ooh, she coming for you! No, this MF has never played with me before. He doesn't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know what the fuck this guy's doing. Um, Riot kind of nerfed cooldown, but in the name of the team, I guess I will. I guess so. I don't think it was boring. I just think it was very boosted, and I think that's why I fell asleep. Sorry. I don't hate them. They're just usually don't know how to make more money. Where the fuck is Echo? Oh, there he is. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't think anybody realizes that I'm actually the support. Like, I think they think I'm like the ADC or something. Oh my gosh, just play the fucking game! Oh my gosh, his ult was up! What the fuck? Thanks for telling me, guys. Thanks, guys! Yeah, I kind of had a feeling nobody knew. But anyways, it's okay. We got two very slow moving champions. And then added on top of that, we got a fucking Camille. And then we got a fucking Nidalee. Oh my gosh, we're so fucked. Why are we fucked with Nidalee? Because Nidalee, I don't know. I feel like it's very difficult for someone to play Nidalee, especially me. So I don't really expect anyone to know how to play Nidalee. What does that mean? I don't know. If I'm not good at something, I don't expect anybody else to be. What? No, that's reverse engineering. I'm not reverse engineering shit. I don't need none of those kills. Oh my gosh, is somebody there? No. I don't have any mobility! What should I build? We have cooldown. Thank you. No, before I figured it out myself because nobody helped me, but now I just can't fucking. I don't know shit anymore. I don't think. Did anybody do that? I feel like you guys just use scripts. Anyways, oh yeah, I fucking hate how Riot got this thing where you have to get your fucking alt, dude. If you don't get your alt, it actually doesn't do any damage, and I fucking hate that shit so much. You guys know Nautilus is still alive, right? I'm not so sure about this team fight. Oh my gosh, thank you. Oh no! Why did I lane with Camille? Go away! I don't want to lane with Camille. Oh my gosh! No! I'm gonna go find some food in a bit. Ah! I don't really do that much damage. I just troll them and stun them, and then my team is nowhere to be seen, so can't do much. Okay, so I really don't know anything about anybody unless I actually pay attention to them and then focus on them and then do kind of like a social media stalking kind of thing, because otherwise I don't pay attention to them. So I really would not be able to answer because I really have no idea. Look at MF. Look at that bitch! You know, this also works on this one. Well, they're actually, I mean, Riot's original code actually is in there for Kale, so all you really have to do is copy and paste that and put it inside of Echo, and voila! Anyways, I mean, that's the shit that I would do, but I think they would get really angry and try to find other ways to get me, so I just figured I'd go with the people who are already doing it based on their own knowledge anyways. Well, you see, I don't really know what the fuck to draw anymore. Like, before I used to have so many ideas of, like, what I wanted to do and shit. Like, now I just don't care. I just want money. Don't judge me, I like money. Yeah, Virgos are hella materialistic. Like, they're probably the only materialistic sign that I'm okay with. Tauruses take it... Well, actually, he wasn't that bad. I don't think he was. I think he's just super nice and he doesn't want anyone to feel bad. And indirectly, that just ends up... Thank you. Oh, did you see that? I forgot! Thank you. They hella threw that one. Did you see that? They rounded that way? That's not right! Oh my gosh, she has like no damage? How is that possible? Don't I? Oh. Did you even do that? Did you see me? I was like, wait. Does it do that? Does it do that? I don't think it does that. Oh wait. I have 100 health, but I still don't think I have that much. I don't think so, man. Something suspicious. Why do you think I got a virus scan? Duh. Oh, I think this could be a wonderful time. Okay, so about Riot, like giving me skins and then like pretty much doing everything, but I still have to pay them is pretty much why I think it's funny where people are like, oh, shouldn't Riot pay you? And I'm like, no, not really, because Riot did create a game that I can use to make money. So, in a way, no, not really. Right? I mean, think about it. For you, let's put you in that situation, right? Say you created, oh, nice aim. Say you created a fucking platform, right? And then people are like, oh, you should be paying me to use your platform. You're just like, bitch, what? So, can you kind of see how in that situation it doesn't exactly necessarily make sense to have that person pay you instead of you just, right? It actually does make sense. Yeah, see, that's, oh, it has to do the spinny thing. It can't just be the alt, right? Sorry, I just had to die one more time just to see, like, what the fuck. Anyways, so, no, because I just realized that every time I die to that alt, it's because I get the spinny thing first, and then I die. You know, because I don't just get alted sometimes. I think it's always because you get the spinny thing, and then you die. Who? I think I saw something earlier where I was like, yeah, that's just reverse engineering. That has nothing to do. So, I mean, I would report them just so. Ooh, do you see that? I popped it. I would just report them just so, like, you guys can get the stuff that you need. Oh, yeah, that's also what I was trying to say. Like, not everything's about money when. I don't know how to describe this. By the way, quinoa makes me really gassy, so I fucking hate quinoa. Nice. Quinoa and organic milk just fucking take me to a whole new planet of gas. No, Saturn has a lot of rings. Uranus is gas. Was it Jupiter? I think it was Uranus. Nice. Oh, Vagar, thanks for being a part of the team, bro. um. Anyways, that's the wrong button. Um. How I've. So I used to do a lot of drugs, and there are certain things that people do that just I can't stand. So that's kind of why I stopped doing drugs. Not so much of like, oh, I don't know how to deal with them. Stop doing drugs. Well, actually, I don't, because most of the time they just threaten me, like, oh, I'm gonna fucking kill you or bomb your house, and I'm just like, honestly, like, how the fuck do I even deal with this? I don't know. So, I kind of stopped doing drugs because I don't know how to deal with it. But when it comes to like crackheads who just kind of like talk shit, it's kind of different. Where you know how like when people use drugs, they use this like way of speaking that's really fucking annoying, and then that's kind of what I mean by calling it a crackhead behavior, because it is a crackhead behavior, right? When you're sober and you don't do drugs, you would never speak like that. Why? Because little kids don't do it. Thank you. Like if you're a 5-year old, you wouldn't start talking like that, right? Because you haven't done drugs yet, hopefully. my gosh, how do we do this? Thank you. Okay. Oh, I'm an Iron 3. I literally won nothing and lost nothing, and I'm an Iron 3. Do you know what that means? That means Iron 3 is the lowest of the low. Where you're like, oh my god. You guys have bad. You guys can't really do math. Or no. You know, I feel like if every single person was just not in the rank that I am in, right? Then technically nobody would ever know. See, look. This is. Oh. King Sanity. See what I mean? This is why I said it's like the lowest of the low. No, but this also means that there is nobody playing. Because. Gosh, how do you fucking. I swear there's something. Bronze leaderboard. This is not helping me at all. Yeah, see, that's the thing about Foxtrot. I think the fact that he always wanted to be popular is like, you know what I mean? That's why he is like that. I think you have to realize that a lot of people do certain things so they can become popular, but for me, I just don't give a shit. So I think that's why it's just not gonna happen with me, because I don't care. The lowest is diamond. No, it's not. You know, the fact that I am the lowest rank in the whole entire NA, and yet all your fucking NALCS games look just as fucking bad as my game, just shows how the ranking system is actually not based on skills. You know what I mean? Like, if the ranking system, unless the games actually look fucking legitimately different, like, oh no, man. That's fine by me. There's this many diamond players. Is that why this whole fucking, like, 15 and 14 diamond players, and we got a 6 and a 7? An 8 and a 2? You know that means they only played 10 games, right? Some of this shit doesn't make any goddamn sense. I mean, if unless that person is stupid enough to ruin their lives, Because you know every single person's gonna be looking for them, being like, "You ruined my fucking life," and they're gonna technically ruin their own life unless you can pay them enough money to sustain them, and they will never need anything ever again. Does that make sense? Because now they will never be able to do this, even if they were capable of doing it. Does that kind of make sense? Because you just pretty much made them ruin it for themselves. You know what I mean? So that means you have to pay them enough money for like forever. Well, everything's about money, isn't it? Like, why are you doing this for money? Right? You want to do it so you become famous. Why do you want to become famous? So you can get money, right? Everything's about money. Stop pretending like it's not. Anyways, there's just like a shit ton of diamond players. But like, so everybody who's new just like is a diamond player just from like playing one game. They just like, yeah, thank you. They get placed into fucking diamond. Like, yeah, sure. I'm sure that makes a lot of fucking sense, guys. Oh yeah, woohoo! We're both sausages. We are both equally sausages. My beer belly. Even though I really, well, actually, who am I kidding? I eat a bunch of sugar. No peppers. I don't know what the fuck this is. There's almonds everywhere. Fucking disgusting. Oh my god, it is super spicy. I actually hate when people eat loudly like this. Dude, if anybody eats like this next to me, I swear to God. I was contemplating how to fuck with him. Thank you. Oh shit. What? Those peppers are really hot. They're not fake peppers. They're real. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, at 160p it just look honestly it just looks like dot. What? No, this is why I drink almond milk. God, you guys don't understand this, do you? No, that's kind of what I was saying about, like, the whole elitist excuse. No, you're just a bunch of rich people. You don't understand what we need. But given my position now, I can kind of say, like, oh, that sounds like a load of shit. Ooh. No. You gotta put the cap on it, right? So you can shake it. And it doesn't go over all over the place. Oh, yeah, huh? No, but sometimes when you rip it good, right? No, never mind, you're right. Okay. So, you put it on, right? And then you eat it, and you figure out, is it sweet enough? Or does it actually taste like a strawberry? And then when it actually does taste like a strawberry, you gotta add more whipped. Yeah, but if I do it like this, right? Then you can't put it in your mouth. So you gotta you gotta add some in, right? And after it's in your mouth and chew it a little bit and you mix it up, right? And then you add some more whipped cream, you know? So it's like perfect. Right? I'm not fat. Oh my god. I really like eating strawberries. I'm a fan of mangoes. I'm not really a fan of strawberries. I will eat lemon cakes don't even taste like fucking strawberries. I think chocolate dipped strawberries are gross. So the temperature of the strawberries makes the chocolate taste weird. My titties are getting cold. Oh god. My cat tried to eat almonds the other day, and it was really funny because he ate the almonds, right? And right after he fucking ate it, he came upstairs and fucking threw up. No, what does that mean? Like, he literally threw up. I just wanted that taste in my mouth. Don't judge me. He threw up exactly everything he ate. So he ate a bunch of strawberries and he threw it right back up. My pet is a dick. Oh gosh. Ooh, it's cold. It's cold. No, I got the fat white girl arms. Do I like the Google Wi-Fi? I like it because it brings me my Wi-Fi. But otherwise, I don't know. Am I supposed to feel something? Yeah, she's that type of person where thank you. I don't know what I'm talking about. Did I click this? I don't want to know about your relationship. Whoa. It's counting down. Oh. There we go. Now it's gone. Can't even lean. Man, I want to fart so so fucking bad right now. I'm just gonna go. Oh, nope. It's gone. I feel like, if anything, I think a lot of people are jealous of Kim Dow because she has, like, the dream job or whatever. Ban E, please support. Oh. Uh-oh. I just cannot go to sleep right after eating. Like, Kim Dow has, like, probably the most normal fucking relationship and the most normal life ever. She can't do damage anyways. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, but Studio Mink is probably either made by some Russians or some Asian people or something, but holy fuck, their dresses are good. Like, sometimes, no offense, but designers be putting way too much shit into their stuff, and it just honestly looks worse than it looks good. There's Alexander McQueen, thank you, and Alexander Wang, who have very, very simplistic ideas, but recently they've just gone complete crackhead, and I don't know if I can handle it. That's all I gotta say. I used my brain and now I'm hungry, okay? Brain consumes. Don't even lie, you guys are so boosted. It's a pudding. I love pudding. I love custard. Anything with custard. Oh shit. You're a little close. Why are you so close to me? It's a good thing I never said I was a one trick. Hey Rufus. Oh wow. Too late now. It's so good though. Told you it was a script. Dude, if their jungler comes like right now, we're so fucked. You know, I cannot buy that much stuff. Yeah, I'm not scripting and I'm not really getting kills. So I cannot actually do that much. Oh my gosh, I can't feel my pinky. So, I've been kind of fat these days. Ugh. No, I think you guys are so used to scripting that like, oh, this is delicious. Hold on. Sorry. I don't think I play it a lot like them though. That's what he did. You know, I don't think Riot's gonna let me build two of these things at the same time. I just don't think Riot is gonna let me. But we will see. I don't think it's gonna work, but
Hey.
maybe it will. I'm not here to try and make like entertainment content. So yeah, it's gonna be a little dry. Yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be like highlights and shit. And I'm not gonna try and like copyright strike it or whatever, because it's kind of like if you're gonna make highlights or whatever, then that should be your revenue because you spent the time on making it. But that's just my opinion. Ooh. I was so caught up on the animation that like I like stopped playing for a second. Okay, this is the last thing I'm gonna eat and I'm gonna sleep. Malake. Don't judge me. I don't really eat breakfast. I just eat like a lot at night. That's stuck on the roof of my mouth. I eat at night. I eat in the morning. I mean, I eat in the afternoon. No, in the noon. In the noon. At noon. Sorry. No, I said this yesterday. I spent a lot of time explaining this. I said, to people who do not have esports connections or corporate parents, they're gonna think that this is completely normal to be abused, and that's why their hate will always be directed at the corporation. Because they're kind of like, well, if this is the norm, then this is fucked up. But I have I have corporate family, so I know that's not the truth. But for them, they just think, yeah. Okay, dude, are you gonna like? Oh my gosh. I need to stop playing Karma. I'm sorry, but they banned Blitz. They banned Blitz, I think, or something like that. And I was, oh wait, hold on, was that the last game? Oh god, I don't remember. All right, anyway, um, so you know how a lot of people always, at least a lot of people in esports always think, oh, it's the rich people, oh, or that it is like corporate, or that every single like salary job person is the same, when in reality, like that's not really the truth, you know? So I don't know. I felt like this Starbucks situation had a lot to do with why a lot of people in esports were angry at each other, or like just, I felt like there was just like, thank you, a lot of esports drama that relates into my job right now. And I can understand why everybody is so fucking frustrated, because it's kind of like, well, if I didn't really have my dad, then I would kind of be in the same situation as you guys, and I can see how that hate just like builds and builds and builds. But it's kind of like these people don't really have the kind of influence my dad had. So for you to say that it's all people like my dad is kind of inaccurate, because yes, my dad had a corporate job and a very high position at that. But that has nothing to do with my dad. It has to do with people who refuse to listen to my dad and refuse to play by the rules. So that's kind of why I've been preaching support for like organized crime, because obviously the government can't even regulate their own people, and that's why Snowden and Chelsea Manning had to be created, which I thought was really bullshit, because it's kind of like, why do you have to sacrifice two of your best people for some stupid shit like this? You know what I mean? Like, they could have spent their time doing something else that could have been way more productive than fucking, like, just dumb. But, yeah, so I felt like this was just like, maybe I took it a little bit too personally, just because of my military and corporation, and like, you know what I mean, like, because I know so many people, like I know people who are part of corporate, I know people who are part of military, I know people who are actually police officers, and like, I know that none of you guys have ever done any of these things. So for me, it's actually really, really frustrating to meet and see these people who actually make you look so bad, to the point where like, you know what I mean? Like, so, I don't know, maybe I just got a little bit too fucking pissed off, because I think I found exactly the people creating the problem, and they have no money at all. And it's funny, because I have a feeling that a lot of organized crime are looking for them, and I think that's why homeless people keep going there. Does that kind of make sense? Like, when homeless people come, they never bother me. And like, whenever homeless people come, they're always super polite to me, and they're super like, you know what I mean? Because I treat them like human, you know? But I can see how these people keep trying to bother them, and I can see why certain cops just don't want to come in when they are here. Because, does that kind of make sense? So, I mean, from a criminal aspect, I can see why the homeless people are there, because, you know, I'm pretty sure it's pretty intimidating for them. And I can see why cops don't really want to help them. Because it's kind of like, well, you do kind of treat me like shit, and you do kind of make me look like shit. So, no, I think that's also kind of why, like, remember, yeah, thank you. Remember that cop who was swatted or whatever, that came, was like, yeah, dude, there's a bunch of like really fucked up people who just come and do this shit. And the other cop was like, dude, why the fuck did they do that? And he was like, I don't know, man. So, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure there are, like, you know what I mean? There are probably, thank you, there are probably a lot of cops who understand the situation, are just kind of like, you know what? We're just gonna follow the rules, and because we follow the rules, it's gonna end up actually fucking this person up more than anything, you know? Because think about it from like a cop perspective. Even if they play video games, right, and then they were like, they cannot just be like, oh yeah, this is video games, let's just not even bother. They still kind of have to pretend like it's real, right? So if they go over there, it's real. Or if it's not real, then the person's gonna get in trouble, and then from there, they're gonna have to open an investigation to see who the fuck made the call, right? So it's not like the cop can just ignore it in that situation, you know? So, well, that's why you just don't call them in the first place, so that you will not be investigated, right? So, no. So my point is, like, I think the reason why cops do not come in when she is around is because they know she's not clean. So, it's like the cops don't really want to help her, but then it's kind of like the cops, thank you, the cops understand that it's associated with Starbucks, and Starbucks is the person that's giving them the benefits. See, that was what I was really pissed off about, because I think Starbucks, yeah, but that doesn't really make any sense with the whole nurture thing and the homeless people. Well, actually, so that's actually what my tweet about was, where I said corporate people do not tip. Because I was like, well, if corporate people are not going to tip, then the amount of homeless people will counteract that math. And for you guys to constantly talk about like corporate fraud and then not feed the very people that are. Does that kind of make sense? Because if you're going to be committing corporate fraud, right, then I would think that organized crime would rely on homeless people to sell their drugs. Right? So if you're going to be relying on the mafia and the mob to commit corporate fraud, then you need to make sure that the people buying the most of their drugs are fucking fed. So they can stay alive to continue buying the drugs. Unless you want to give the mob the money that was supposed to come from the homeless people, then yeah, you know, there you go, problem solved. But I'm pretty sure anybody who messes with the mob's money usually ends up dead. Right? So, I mean, well, okay, so there's a lot of weird stuff going on with Trump's thing, and in my opinion, because I know he's so affiliated with the Russian mob, that I'm honestly like, sometimes I'm just like, dude, what if this is like all orchestrated by the Russian mob, because he's constantly affiliated with it, right? Like Trump needed the Russian mob to help him build some fucking hotel or something. And again, he was denied building a hotel, I think. No. I think at first Trump needed to borrow money from the Russian mob to create his empire. And then after that, he tried to start like a hotel or whatever in Australia, and then because of his affiliation with the Russian mob, I think Australia turned it down because they did not want him to build one there. And then again during his something about Giuliani or whatever, it also had a lot to do with the Russian mob money, because I guess Giuliani's considered a mob lawyer kind of thing. So again, Trump is associated with mob stuff again. So that's why I'm kind of like, well, if this is already coming down so hard on the impeachment and you're still over here trying to commit more corporate fraud, thinking that nobody in the whole entire world knows, when 90% of the population probably has to work for the mob because of what you have done. So you're like attacking the very people that you pretend to support, right? So when the Russian mob is actually trying to protect their own people, like, you're not understanding what's going on, because the whole impeachment process was to pretty much get rid of you, and you still don't fucking get it. Like, does that kind of make sense? Right? Because the Russian mob and stuff, they're not really attacking the poor people. They're kind of being like, well, Trump, you're kind of the problem, right? How do you guys not know this? Like, I understand, like, the impeachment makes no sense, but honestly, when it comes to the mob situation, I don't think anything makes any sense to anybody, right? That's why, like, as soon as people were like, this makes no sense, like, he did not break a law, I'm like, but aren't you affiliated with the Russian mob? Like, didn't Trump build his whole empire based on Russian mob money? So, yeah, I'm pretty sure none of it's ever gonna fucking make sense because it's the Russian mob, right? So that's kind of why I was laughing really hard when people kept like trying to threaten me. I'm like, so you're telling me you're affiliated with the Russian mob, and the Russian mob pretty much keeps. No. The Russian mob pretty much makes money off of homeless people because they're the only drug addicts that have to have drugs every single day. Like, no offense, but people who do like drugs on a corporate job, like, yeah, they're nice, but you also run the constant chance that they're going to call the cops on someone who sells your drugs. So in that case, then you technically look bad because you're not giving your worker immunity, right? So now you're losing money selling drugs, and you're losing your workers who sell the drugs. So if I was the mob, I would want to get rid of you, and I would want to silence you because you talk too goddamn much and I'm not making enough money, right? I mean, I can say it in a very simple way that has nothing to do with mob, which is if homeless people are going to bring in money for Starbucks, then I'm going to leave them alone. And unless corporate people can start tipping us, then the homeless people technically counteract your lack of tipping. And just so you guys know, thank you guys, by the way, food service people, thank you guys for standing with us as well. When it comes to, like, corporate people do not fucking tip. Does that kind of make sense? Like, any food service, any delivery service, I think they can all... Oh yeah, and Uber, thank you. I think everybody can kind of agree that corporate people never fucking tip. Right? It's usually people like us working other minimum wage jobs that are tipping each other because we all understand how fucking, you know, how much it sucks. And then yet they're being really elitist and classist to us. And that's kind of why I was telling you guys to support the Russian mob. Because you have to think about it, people like Trump, like, they're not fucking scared of us. They don't care how many of us are there. They're just like, oh yeah, I just won't ever go to your fucking restaurant. Like, so, I mean, in situations like this, not even the government can do much, because even if the cops wanted to do very much, like, there's nothing that the cops can do to help Starbucks, right? If they stop coming, then it hurts Starbucks. But if they come, then they also still cannot help, because now they're indirectly, like, supporting something that they're trying to be against, you know? So, like, there's literally nothing that the cops can do in this situation, you know? Which really sucks, in my opinion. And I'm just letting you guys know, because I don't know if you guys have ever thought about this, or, like, you guys think they're associated with each other, but from a Starbucks standpoint, Starbucks has, like, the free coffee or defend a cop or whatever thing, right? But it's like, if the cops stop coming, then how is Starbucks going to get that money, right? And then it's like, but they want to help Starbucks because they realize that Starbucks understands that their importance, right? But then you see the disconnect here. So I'm just letting you guys know that you guys might have the wrong person. And I think I found the person. That's really the problem. Anyways, so like I was saying, yeah, we should, thank you. We should probably support the Russian mob, since the only person that can truly take down Trump is probably the Russian mob, right? Because I'm pretty sure as soon as they bring up the impeachment thing and it's like, hey, the Russian mob is affiliated with Trump, and considering how the American mafia fell, I mean, you put the 2 and 2 together, right? So in this case, we kind of have to thank the mob for this one, because nobody else could really take down these guys, right? So, like I said, I didn't really want to put it on Twitter because I just didn't want to put it on Twitter. But what does this have to do with League of Legends? Well, if you think about it, like, China doesn't really have this problem, and remember that BMW, like, bicyclists, and how, like, the net citizens pretty much was like, dude, like, what the fuck, this tough guy thinks he's shit, and he goes and bothers this innocent fucking person, like, what the fuck is going on, you know? Like, in that situation, I feel like it kind of took care of itself. That's kind of why this problem does not happen in China. And then in EU, I feel like it also does not happen, because remember that documentary of Motherboard, right? That's why it doesn't happen in EU. And in Korea, actually, they've been putting a lot of people in prison for just gambling, or, you know, so that's why it doesn't exist either, because you guys are all criminally charged. There's not really much innocence left there, right? And the reason why it happens in America is because of people like Trump. Thank you. Because we all know Trump is very guilty, but he keeps playing like he's innocent. And that's kind of why I made that tweet today, thank you, where I was like, you mean these cocaine using frat boys? Because you know how frat boys are all cocaine users and they think they're entitled to stuff. Get it? Okay, maybe it was more of a political joke than it was like a normal people. Okay, so when you're a cocaine using frat boy, right? That pretty much means you use a lot of cocaine and you think you're better than everybody else. And you call your rich daddy lawyer, thank you, to be like, oh, I don't want to pay like $100,000 for this fucking kilo of cocaine. You know, let's just call the FBI on them. That's what it means to be a cocaine frat boy. No. Okay, in a banking system, it's useful because, you know, you don't want frat boys like releasing everybody's fucking secrets, right? So it's like, in that system, it works. But when it comes to like messing with everybody else, then no, it doesn't work. And I think it worked before because there was no social media. Yeah. Connecting the dots. Am I allowed to say this? Fuck yeah, dude. Think about it, right? Literally nobody fucking likes you guys, okay? Everybody fucking hates you. If you're part of a sorority or if you're part of a fraternity, everybody fucking hates you. So the only person you have is the corporation. And you can't even respect the corporation. Well, if you were a fraternity or a sorority frat boy in real life, you would get your ass beaten. And probably even killed because nobody would want to put up with your shit. Right? No, that's just like in real life, you know, like if you try to fight somebody at a bar and you're just like, oh yeah, I'm better than you, like, they're most likely gonna try to actually fight you outside of the bar. And considering it is an actual nightclub, like, the bouncer's not really gonna do anything as long as you're not on their property. Right? So, yeah, that's kind of what I meant by sorority and fraternity, frat boys and girls. Your attitude would not really implicate into real life because your attitude is not going to keep you alive for very long. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you cannot survive in real life, then maybe you should respect the people who is protecting you and giving you a place to live, right? But if you disrespect that, then I don't think anybody else is really going to feel sorry for you at this point, because I think everybody's kind of dealt with a frat boy or sorority person at a bar or a nightclub once, at least once in their life. And I don't think their last memory of you is exactly the best. Thank you. So, yeah. Anyways, and to say, oh, you know, it's the corporation, didn't you use your corporate connection against them, saying, oh, I'm gonna sue this fucking place, like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you up, right? Didn't you use that against them? So why would they, like... Anyways, no, I understand before it was, like, kind of the corporation, but I think now people kind of understand it has nothing to do with the corporation, and the corporation needs kind of more stuff to be getting rid of you. Anyways, thank you, and have a good night, everybody, and thank you for the awesome games. Lots of eating. Oh yeah, I told my mom that my food baby is probably a boy, because if it's a boy and you look from the back, you can't tell that you're pregnant, right? So I was making a joke with my mom, because from the back you can't tell that I'm getting fat, right? So I was like, oh, must be a boy. Because, you know, when you have a girl and you're pregnant with a girl, you get pregnant this way. But if you get... Okay, so here, I'll show you guys what I mean. No, that's how I knew one of them was a girl and one of them was a guy. Because I remember when I got pregnant, I started getting really fat, like, this way instead of this way. Like, you have to understand, when you get pregnant, your belly would either go this way or it would go, like, this way. Like... I don't know why, but when pregnancies happen, it's fucking weird, okay? When you get pregnant with a man, it goes this way. It looks like a, not so much a cone, but from the back, you still look super skinny. Like, you can't even tell you're fucking pregnant, right? But as soon as you turn your side, it'd be like, oh, goddamn, you're hella pregnant, you know? But, if it's a girl, you can tell from the back because you're like pregnant this way. You're not pregnant this way, you're pregnant this way. So... whoever's gonna get pregnant soon, you guys should totally test out my theory. Because this is what my mom told me, and I'm not sure if it's accurate or it's full of shit, but so far it's been pretty accurate. So yeah, I was making fun of making a joke with my mom, because my mom was like, dude, Christine, you're getting hella fat. I'm like, yeah, I know, and I got a little boy here going on. Because it's going fat this way, not going fat this way. No, I'm not really pregnant. I haven't even had sex like for fucking years. I mean, have I had? No, I think it's been 2 years. No, it's been like 1.5 years or something. Anyways, it's not important. Sex is not important. Okay, guys. No, I've seen women pregnant with daughters where they just lose their waist. Like they'll have a waist before and then their waist would just like completely disappear. Or like if they have a guy, you just from the back or just you can tell like they're still super skinny, but as soon as they turn around you're like, no, 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 hold on, she's definitely pregnant. Like anyways, people need to get pregnant so we can test out this theory. Not pregnant in a way that you cannot take care of your kid though, but please pregnant in a good way where it's good energy and fun for everybody. Anyways, thank you and goodbye.